What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukishu. We are back with another Musume video. In this video, we are back with Maruzensky. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this yesterday that I'll probably do Maruzensky recap and maybe Orfer for the last one. Who knows? But for today, we are just going to train Swimsuit Maruzensky. Parents, pretty much the same UD4 Dirt recap that I trained last week sometime, because I know I started using her as a parent like last week, and then the Kapano Riki, the usual dirt parent that I've been using since the start of this prep. One thing I didn't notice was I did have a UD9 dirt agree cap, which is this one right here. So I don't know, maybe maybe I'll be able. I forgot I had a UD9. I thought this was the one I used for like CM, I think. But it turns out it wasn't. So I technically do have a cap, but I do want to try to get a UC for her at least. But technically I did get one, but that was for turf. And yeah, don't want to use that. But other than that, the setup for Maruzensky is pretty much the same that I used last week, using the Smart Falcon and Still in Love speed cards. Nishino Flower Power, Maruzensky, Measure Ramino Wise card, Speed Symbol group card, and the Super Creek Stamina card, and pretty much the same old setup. The only thing that really changes here is the speed card, because every card has been pretty much been used. Unless I'm using a chaser, then we're looking at maybe a different power card with Ayabe, different wise card with Taishin, and then renting a different speed card. But we'll probably see that tomorrow if I do, or when I do train or ferv tomorrow. Other than that, that is pretty much set up. So we're just gonna get the run started, and while the training is loading, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There's a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle, and then after that, head over to the comment section or to the circle request channel. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, that is it on that, and we can get started with the run as I look down at the scroll down the comments and make sure things are all there. For the most part, I think it looks all right. I think nothing's been held from what it seems like. So we should be good with the comments. But let's see. The first comment is gonna be from Nova. The first batch of comments is gonna be from Nova. Difference with Eugen is at least my Uma account has a solid foundation. I can't say the same for Eugen's Zenless account. Yeah. Just from what it sounds like, at least you do have a solid foundation in Uma compared to him and Zenless. Let's go with the bottom option. Yikes. Yikes. Let's fix that real quick. I actually took a look at Eugen's at least whatever characters he put in his, I guess, profile account in Zenless, and to my surprise, at least just a little bit, I see that a lot of his drive disc are level 0, so he's missing out on a lot of stats. That alone can just explain why why he can't beat, I guess can't beat the shield defense. At least not all. I don't know about for all his characters, but for the ones he put up there, I do remember seeing Qingyi. I don't remember what it was, so I just know that there was a lot of level 0 drive discs, so I knew there was something up with the account to begin with. Not just the... I feel like he may have been able to clear it with the team if his drive disc were... If his drive disc were at least, like, leveled up. I feel like that's all he needs right now. Not a glimpse of his drive disc. So yeah. Kinda explains it. Because there's just so many stats missing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because... So we're just going to move on from that. First time I heard text speed is what's hampering someone from reading the story, right? Interesting stories can also have slow text speed. I think for me, it's just... It doesn't... Like I said, for me, it doesn't necessarily matter. I'm just there for the story, so however they deliver it, however they deliver it. Text speed doesn't matter, because I'll just be reading at my own speed regardless, even if I do have the speed on fast and then it's already loaded, but I can only go with however fast I can read, which is actually not too bad. But at the same time, one reason that people may or may not miss, or may miss things when it comes to reading stories and all that in the general sense, is or they won't be able to recall things, is maybe they were just reading too fast. You know, but people are different, so it all depends on the individual. Maybe, I don't know, but it is the first time for me also to hear someone not be interested in a story because of text speed. That is definitely something different. My commute time is 15 to 20 minutes, 0 minutes if you count the days that I work from home. "15 to 20 minutes is like the best commute time. Obviously shorter, but do you really want to be that close to work? For me, I care about getting the rainbow shards, and that's it. Noki said I can use my old Umas, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm having an identity crisis in Uma. Help. No. But he's not wrong. You can use your old Umas, especially because you have the support cards to support them. But it's like you already don't pull for enough Umas to begin with. So I don't know. Forget using the same Umas for a team. You can't even use the same Uma on the forking card. Yeah, you can. You can't. That's hilarious how you can't use their card on them, but we already had this conversation topic before. It is still, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, it makes sense because we already talked about this before, but it does make sense. Why you can't train with them. But I think the side stories in WoW are more in-depth than other gachas. I say this because we actually get a main lore dump. In addition to the character's background, it's definitely keeping me intrigued. Yeah, I mean, even Zenless does the same thing with their agent stories. Most of them, most if not all of them, seems to connect to the main story at some point. For example, Trigger's agent story was based on how she met the proxies. So that was because there was like a little gap missing on how they met. And they filled that in. So like even Zenless has been doing a good job in like the story as well. Nothing really feels too out of place because even the events somehow line up with the main story somehow, like the New Year's event and all that. So Zenless has been doing a good job of that, along with Wuwa. Wuwa definitely has given me a good impression since the beginning. So I guess after a year now, I still get confused with the Wuwa terms. Wuwa terms. I don't know what terms these may be, because I don't know. That does make the story hard to grasp at times. I'm trying to wonder what terms they're talking about. I know like they have specific terms because, you know, the game and where they are and all that. But no, I think for the most part, I just don't know what terms you may be talking about. You may need to tell me these terms to see if I've had the same reaction. I guess. I don't know. I guess the story in the new region is simple. It's just that the Sentinel being mixed with good and evil part gets convoluted. I think it's alright. I mean, more or less, we already know who the real, like, bad guy is in this part of the story in this new region. So we got to know basically the story from each group or each family. Like you said about the Phasalias, got to learn about that. And got to learn what really happened with the Sentinel, the Imperator. And I think the story has been pretty good. Yeah, I think the story has been pretty good. It's not just like your typical, oh, you have the good family and then you have the good group and then the bad group. It was, or you have like two groups and one of those working teamed up with the bad guy, but just so happens that there's only been one bad guy or bad group this whole time, and it, you know, I think it's pretty interesting, especially the way they deliver the story, because the way I'm describing it just doesn't really sound too, and just sounds normal. But no, you really just got to play the game to really appreciate the story, I guess. I guess. Moving on, I mean, if the dude makes my favorite girl stronger, then yes. At least dudes in Zenless have pretty good backstories, except for Lighter. His backstory wasn't that bad. I think you're just hating. Although he was like the only one you were pretty unimpressed with when it came to their backstory, but I mean, I don't know. His backstory was just what, a fighting background, from what I remember. It was a fighting background, but it was like there was more to it, which made it like he was in debt and all that. So it had some story into it. I think you just weren't too impressed by his backstory. I think that's what it is, which is all right. Which is all right. But now that I know the anniversary in Uma has some pretty good paid banners for Uma cards, I'm like, I'm not okay. I'm okay with not pulling for the time being. I don't understand this talk because it talks about paid banners and whatnot. So this is a whale talk. So I'm just leave it there. Honestly, I don't think anyone can always be excited for a gacha. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't need to be excited to play the game. There were times when I find Wuwa or Zenless boring or mid, but that's just in between the excitement. Yeah, because obviously you can't really necessarily get excited for the game, especially in the middle of a patch when you've pretty much done everything you can. Or like you've done the events. Nothing has updated yet. There's nothing to be excited about. But I'll still play the game because of dailies, check up on if there's any improvements I can do towards my account. So yeah. So the same with Uma for me. I think the main reason was the 1 month hiatus I did in Taiwan. That definitely you came back a different person. I put my reality and friends and family over Uma. Oh, that's perfectly fine. You were already on vacation. So it will take me some time to get back to the hang of things. In particular, it's just between doing manual or auto runs to me. Is it? Is it? Because it doesn't even sound like you want to play Uma at the moment, at least. At least. And then Eugen responded saying, someone is excited and Gacho went to look at someone's despair. And then Nova says, negative juju gives me strength. Yeah. Nova says, you'll be playing Uma until the sun explodes. Good old Shoo Shoo. Probably. Probably. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll never know. Well, no, yeah. I mean, as long as I still, you know, enjoy playing the game, that's all that really matters. I don't have any negative feelings towards the game. Obviously, I've just been having a good time playing it. Of course, bad runs happen, and pretty much when it happens, you just get used to it, especially over time. Especially over time, and it's been more than over 4 years, so it don't affect me too much. Well, let's just say I'm not easily uh too, I guess, unmotivated from playing something or anything like that. I don't really get I don't really get that sense of being feeling tilted or whatever when it comes to games where like Zenless and all that. Only time I really feel tilted is when it's like fighting games, I guess, or when it requires like a PvP. That's where the whole mental starts to get tested. But but I've only noticed I've only get like tilted or a negative feeling, negative mentality towards a game when I'm just getting I'm just getting beat real bad in the game playing, especially if it's PvP. So yeah, but story games, gotcha games, any other games? Nah, I don't. I don't really. If a game sucks, then a game sucks. I'll say it straight out. But pretty much just multiplayer games is where I mostly feel the negativity. Multiplayer, PvP, or if I just did really bad in fighting games, then that would be really tilting. But other than that, I'm perfectly fine. I don't let any other people's account make me feel any other way because that's their account. Just because another person has a better account, I won't let that hinder me and get unmotivated. So it's kind of like just me with like looking at gotcha drama where I'll look at it, but I won't care about it. It all falls under that. It's like, eh, it is what it is. But moving on, is being monogamous in the gotcha life better than having an open relationship with other gotchas? I think other people are more inclined to just stay with one gotcha their whole life. As for me, I'm a harem enjoyer. So if we're talking in general, honestly, it's hard to say because obviously it depends on the type of person they are, like, and how their, I guess, schedule is. Because obviously, if they're more of a busy person, they'll probably only be able to handle one, maybe two gotchas, while also juggling any other things they want to do, obviously. And then you'll have those who just play as many gotchas as they can, regardless of anything. But I think in general, I think people will stick to like 1 to like 3, maybe. Maybe, maybe I say, but for your question, I'd say probably more people are inclined to stay to one gotcha game than to multiple. Unless like they're like an anime fan and they're just playing multiple anime IPs, gotcha games. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Eugene says, I only go for the game I'm interested in, whether it's a gacha or not. Well, that is the same for me as well. But that doesn't necessarily... I guess it does for yourself, but... I don't know. For the most part, I know you play games outside of Uma and Zenless. But I don't necessarily remember. It's been a while from what I know. That's since... It's been a while since I've played like an outside game for sure. Outside of gacha games, I think. Well, besides like Smash Ultimate, but that's more of a normal thing for me. And then Nova says in response, you like factors, that's all I know. He does like his factors. That is true. That is true. And then the last comment from Nova, I believe. We refresh just in case. And it says reverse story is something I'll read first, and then I'll have to read some Blue Archive story. And then some Arcanine story before I can even think about the HBR story. Well, with like a week left before the collab, I think. So I haven't decided. I do want to catch up, but I just haven't decided. But we'll see. We'll see. With that being said, that is going to be it from Nova. Thank you for all the comments, Nova. Appreciate it as always. Next comments are going to be from Rick. And the first one says, I think YouTube deleted my comment on a previous video. I did good on the free polls. Well, YouTube definitely did because I didn't go over it. So, well, congrats. I don't know what polls you got, but congrats. And the Nova says, lucky mustard alert. Yes. Yes, indeed. I don't know how lucky, but must be pretty lucky. Because he says he did good on the free polls and that's plural. And then there's me. I did get one copy. Or not one copy, just the one poll for the power card, which was the one I wanted, but I do wish I had multiple copies, but we're just gonna have to sit and wait. League of Heroes prep. I got lucky and got a good Agnes Digital and El Condor Pasa on their first run, so I'm chilling. Wow. Congrats. And for Aguri, I did have trained one for medium distance, so I'll just use that one and call it a day. But I guess you don't matter. I guess it won't technically matter, but I was gonna say is the aptitude at least an A. But I don't know. If you don't care, then you don't care. There's a League of Heroes, but just curious, just asking. I'm looking at YouTube's auto response for like auto replies in the comment section. Literally, one of the replies for Rick's comment was, "That's a good strat since you've already got two good ones." I'm just like, I'm just reading it like, that's the best you got. But other than that, Thank you for the comments. Appreciate it as always. And the last comments are gonna be from Eugen. Honestly, we haven't gotten a date on. Oh, we did. I thought I didn't. Oh well. Oh well. I don't know if stamina is surprisingly low at the moment. I feel like I've had it higher before, but the next comments are going to be from Eugen. YouTube did nothing. It's just me who missed out on put out comments. For talking about you missing your comments on the other video, I think you misunderstand. I think. Because I just remember mentioning that YouTube didn't show me all of Nova's comments on the day I thought you had more comments than Nova. Because they didn't show me all his comments in the beginning when I first went over it. Because I had to go over it like 4 more comments, I think, at the end of the video. Because it just popped out of nowhere, but it was towards like his first comment. Or under the first comment I had went over. It was a little weird. It was a little weird. You missing out the comments had nothing to do with what I said. I knew you missed out your comments because it didn't make it in a video. You literally commented, I think, like an hour or 2 after. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. The first dupe came from the 50-50 loss in the fire manager. I forgot her name. Her name's Evelyn. So I guess I'll just stick to Soldier 11 as main fire DPS. Sorry, I'm just looking. And love her just like Turbo. Oh, it's not I hate Soldier 11. In fact, I'm glad the first time I got her, though she is tier 1 class, but we'll work on it. And yeah, reason for Kaleda is just want to complete fire element, I guess. The old school of just mono element teams isn't really implied in Zenless. Me and Nova had this kind of like topic like a few months ago, maybe. Not too sure, but yeah, mono teams aren't really a thing, aren't really like a real team setup, but it's more of like a if it's all you got, or if you want to run that, then sure. But if you look at most of the teams, they're all mixed elements pretty much for the most part. Well, you know what, Eugen? Sometimes it's just hard to tell whether or not you like something, or is happy about something, because just reading off your comments, most of the time it just sounds negative, if you want me to be honest. Or it sounds like you're being sarcastic and all that, so that's why it's hard to tell whether or not you're really happy about something when you sound like you're being happy. Because you always give a negative vibe. So you see where I'm going here? It's hard to tell whether you're actually glad about something, because you're always negative about something. And that just the first thing that pops up, because that's all the only thing I can remember or get from what I read when I read your certain comments. So my impression is just like, man, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know how he's really feeling, unless there's an emoji maybe, or you actually honestly say, honestly say how you feel about the situation or topic. So yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be a while till I get used to you being positive because you were pretty darn negative the past 2 weeks. And then lastly, well, yes, the text speed is what I hate. Oh, I didn't check if you could speed up the text speed, but I'm pretty sure there should be a text speed option. Pretty sure there should be. It also lose my pace and missing out some important dialogue due to quick press button. I don't know if you can blame the game. I don't know if you can blame the game if you are the one who are the one having issues with it. Or it's not the game's fault you stop paying attention. You know what I'm saying? It's not the game's fault. Like I said, if it was the game, if it was the actual story you had a problem with, then I understand. But if it's a text speed, that's more personal. It's all on you. I know you guys are probably telling me that I didn't do a single date, but that was because it came late. So, plus, I already had the impression that this run was kind of not looking good. Kinda. At least I was getting that impression. But I will give it a time to look on the options maybe later, but it would be on the weekends, which I have more leeway to do more stuff. Uh, Perfectly fine. I forgot to check. See what I mean? Mama memory. I said I was gonna check the options in Zenless, and I didn't. So yeah. Oh wait, I don't need to pick anything because I don't really like the options here. At least none of them, or most of them, hasn't really been an option I normally pick. But other than that, that is pretty much it for all the comments. Let me refresh one more time. And it seems like that is pretty much it for all the comments. So thank you, Eugen, Rick, and Nova for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. And I guess it's safe to say we can just finish up the run. Actually, this could have had potential, but I didn't unlock the dates until like what, the third year, which I also then forgot to start using the dates because I guess I just got too into the comments, but it's fine. But that is all the scheduled races, so I think, I don't know, we'll see. Stat wise, it could be better. Speed could be higher, obviously. Everything else could be higher. But I can't really help it because I did forget to do this also. I think if I had started it from where I know where we had unlocked it, it would have been fine still, but definitely feels too late because I still had to do it like 5 times anyway. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But final turn before the race. At least we'll get like close to 1700, if not 1700 speed, but not the Maruzensky run this time. Maybe over the weekend? Maybe. Hopefully. Maybe I'll get a better cap over the weekend as well. Who knows? Or will I have some surprise Uma that I trained over the weekend that I probably didn't mention? We'll see. So I do have like one other Uma, maybe two other Umas. I will say they're both not dirt Umas, obviously, because I don't have that many dirt Umas. And would you expect them to be used in a dirt race? No, because they're not dirt Umas, obviously, but I wonder if you guys can guess it. Whether or not I'll say you're right or not for your guesses, it depends on that day when I go over it. Because if I remember that I don't want to, or if I decide not to let y'all know and just surprise y'all if it works out, then why not, right? But we'll see. We'll see if I even can get a good one to begin with. But yeah, any guesses for those two Umas? Let me know down in the comment section down below. I don't think I have enough. Maybe I do. Does this stay at? Yeah, it does. So we don't want that. Concentration. This 6, 38. I do want to. Hold on. Yeah, I think I need to. Oh, my voice cracked. I think I need to lower. What's this? Ooh. Well, it's not necessarily the Maruzensky I'm gonna use, so I think it'll be okay if I remove a skill or two. Maybe. And use it for a different skill. Just because. I don't know why, but I don't know if I have if I made her skills cheaper. So I don't think I have enough books right now at the moment. But let's see. We didn't get any S aptitude either. I actually don't remember if that UD9 cap I showed you guys had an S. Maybe at least had dirt, but I don't know to be right now, but I can always check later. UE5, no, we can definitely do better than that. But let's see if we can at least get a parent out of her, maybe. It's medium distance, it can. Can't, because it is a medium distance League of Heroes, so maybe not, because my cap, well, maybe for cap at least, because I've been mainly using cap as a parent for my other Umas. So I think maybe I'll be able to use this Maruzensky. Maybe. For as a parent. But ended up with 1682 speed, 1082 stamina, 1260 power, 900 guts, and 1225 wise. Nothing great, but That is the run. That is my second best. Maybe this will all change to like UDs at least by the end of the, well, most likely for sure by the end of the League of Heroes prep. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys did make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I guess it's a little too early to ask about the weekend, huh? It's only Thursday. But let me know what you guys have been up to, how your training has been going, whether it's for the League of Heroes or just training for fun, or if there's any other things you guys are playing outside of Uma and you guys are having fun or watching any other anime or stuff. Let me know down in the comment section down below. If there's anything else you do want to talk about or ask me, but as long as appropriate, I'll go over it. If you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description, and there is a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined the circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or to the circle requests channel, Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.